And
for
Scott,
everything.
and Scott, thank you.
There we go, Scott. Speaking of which, how's Scott doing? He's doing good?
So he is doing incredibly well. My dad had an interesting summer. He actually had a quintuple bypass surgery, and that's a really intense surgery.
Yeah.
So it all happened really quick. He went in. I know he would want me to say this because he really he learned a lot through this process. He's had a healthy, perfect EKG every year that he's gone in to get his physicals.
Yeah.
Perfect EKG.
Yeah.
But what found his 5 hard blockages in his heart was a resting stress test. So he's been telling all his friends, you need to get the stress test because that's what's actually preventative. If you can find that earlier, you don't have to have a bypass surgery. You can sort out those blockages with stents and things that are a lot less invasive. So he finds out that he's got these blockages. They're like, we got to do this like tomorrow.
Yeah.
You shouldn't, we don't know how you walked in here, dude. This is crazy. So he was, of course, saying to our family, he was like, you guys are busy. I don't want you guys to have to come in here. You and Austin are busy. Just you don't have to do this. Don't
brave
come.
dad, the strong dad that,
right.
He said something about when a cat is injured, it curls up around a tree and heals itself. I was like, Dad, cats don't have quintuple bypass surgery.
He tried to relate.
That's wild. You're just saying stuff now. That doesn't mean anything to me. And so I was like, okay, I'm not going to come there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So he wakes up from surgery and it's my mom, my brother, and me and his best friend. And he comes out of surgery and he did a comedy set for 15 minutes. He was the funniest he's ever been, and he's usually really funny. But he's we didn't know how many blockages he had, and I was like, Dad, you had a quintuple bypass. You had 5. That's crazy. It's more than we thought. And he's like, well, you see, I come from a very competitive family. And it was kind of wild because it was very parent-child reversal.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. My brother and my mom and I were each taking shifts in the ICU and staying with them 24/7. And I remember when I was a teenager, my parents would the big fight we always had is I'd sneak my cell phone into my room and be talking to my best friend Abigail under the covers all night. And they'd be like, you have a test tomorrow. You need to rest. We're taking your phone, whatever.
Yeah.
I'd get to the hospital. My brother will have done the night shift and he's like, Tay, you got to take his phone. I caught him FaceTiming his friends all night. He needs his rest. He needs to be sleeping. He's FaceTiming all night.
It's one of the main things you need is your body to just
recover.
And I'm like, I'm not taking his phone. He'll get mad. He's like, I'm not taking his phone. You got to be the one to take his phone. I'm like, I'm not doing it. My mom's like, I don't want to do it. My mom. So we're just it's we've got we've got to take our teenage son's phone away from him because he's FaceTiming all night. He came out of surgery, tried to give guitar picks to all the nurses and doctors, but he wasn't wearing pants, didn't have pockets, hospital gown. I'm having these moments where I'm like, this dude built play sets and swing sets and cribs for me. I'm building his shower chair and his walker and his bed that goes like this. It's just surreal, man. And you're like, we just all moved in with him for the whole summer pretty much. And just, because you can't really walk on your own. We had a little harness for my dad. Just walking dad on his harness. And he was the loveliest patient ever. He just kept saying thank you over and over again. So
guy was full of life, man.
Yeah.
He was appreciative that he caught it.
He still is.
Yeah. It.
We had we had the FaceTime with him last time we were together, and I was like, yeah, he hasn't changed a bit. This guy's still freaking got the energy going. Yeah.
Yeah. So Trav was hanging with him the other day and he was like, so, sweetie, he says he's at 75%. And if this is 75%, I'm truly terrified of him.
To give you the update, I'm probably at 85 to 90% now. So we still got a month though.
Yeah. So my dad's like, new arteries, new me. My mom just got a new knee.
New knee.
There we go. New knees.
She's doing great. She's scampering around. We're not quite at scampering yet, but she's doing great.
She's up moving around.
Yeah, this was just the summer of my parental upgrades. We're just upgrading the parents, making sure that they live to be at least 186 years old.
Huge.
Because they're 2 of my best friends, and I just adore them. And it was actually one of the most special things that's ever happened to me, spending all that time with them this summer and getting to, you have those long talks. that you don't have when it's like a small, concentrated period of time. This is when I learned to do the sourdough, right? My parents' friend Tina sends over a loaf.
Shout out Tina.
Shout out Tina.
Tina,
That's my girl.
I love you. Thank you, Tina.
Sends over like the best loaf of bread I've ever had in my life. To call it bread feels really, honestly, sort of like
it's gold.
Sort of like minimizing what this was,
it's
right?
Modern day gold.
So I'm like, I need to know how to do this. I go over to Tina's house. She teaches me how to do it. She gives me some of her starter. Life is never the same. Okay. All these things are happening in Florida. Travis is doing his training. He's like, look at him.
In Florida. I'm in Florida.
Look at him. And he's so fast and he can jump so high. So this was our Florida summer.
That's what it is.
It's a hell of a drug.
It's one hell of a drug.
Really Florida'd it up.
This is exactly how Travis Kelce appeared when he arrived at a Los Angeles hospital to stand by Scott Swift's side during his sudden health scare. The timing could not have been more difficult for Travis, with Chiefs training camp looming just 2 days before Scott's surgery, and it was also the reason his podcast was postponed on July 23rd. Taylor, who had long carried the heavy burden of her mother's health battles, was devastated, as her father had always seemed so strong. Yet in that vulnerable moment, as Taylor, Travis, and her family rushed to Scott's bedside, it was Kelce who transformed into the unwavering caregiver. Photos capture the Kansas City Chiefs star driving around Los Angeles, fully present through the ordeal, bringing Taylor her favorite sourdough to ensure she ate, and personally checking in on Scott's recovery after surgery. Those closest to the family revealed how the NFL icon rose flawlessly to the occasion, proving his loyalty in their very first true crisis together, and showing Taylor Swift and her loved ones that when everything else feels uncertain, he is the man who never lets go. If Taylor wasn't ready to say yes before, she certainly is now, because what they share has moved from love to something utterly unbreakable, our insider revealed. Thankfully, her father has made a remarkable recovery, and Taylor herself shared that Scott's progress since surgery has been nothing short of fantastic. During those tense days of healing, Taylor and her younger brother Austin never left his side, while Andrea, his wife of 37 years, stood firmly by him with unwavering strength. Taylor's bond with her parents has always been deeply personal, with her father often spotted cheering at her sold-out concerts and even showing up at football games to support her and Travis. As for Kelce, his demanding training camp schedule has kept the Chief superstar fully occupied, and because of it, the Kelce brothers have gone quiet on releasing fresh podcast episodes, leaving fans eagerly waiting for their next big return. On the last podcast episode at that time, Jason admitted there would be some pre-recorded interviews with exciting guests, but confessed there would be nothing fresh directly from the Kelce brothers themselves. "We've come to the end of the road," Jason declared during the mid-July show, marking a bittersweet pause for fans. And in true Swiftian style, he even joked about learning to sew Easter eggs the way Taylor Swift has mastered the art. "We adore a couple who cut straight through each other's nonsense, and Taylor isn't about to let Travis slide with habits she's noticed before." The highlight of her unforgettable New Heights appearance was the electrifying reveal of her new album The Life of a Showgirl. To emphasize how bold and dynamic this record feels, she explained that her recent albums leaned more esoteric, referencing folklore, and that's when Travis, unable to resist, leaned in with a cheeky line, "She's so hot when she says the big words," sending fans into a frenzy over their undeniable chemistry. "We've been watching this man closely for years, and it's become clear he's far sharper than he lets on, playing up the fun-loving, goofy persona just to keep expectations low. And you know what?" Taylor knew it instantly, calling him out with playful accusation, "You know what esoteric means." She broke it down for Jason Kelce, insisting, "He absolutely knows. He just pretends he doesn't, but he does." Jason quickly cornered his younger brother, demanding an answer, and sure enough Travis, knowing he was caught, delivered flawlessly, explaining that esoteric means for a specific following, like a specific genre of people. Trav nailed it with ease, and Taylor couldn't resist her victory lap, teasing that he always plays the clueless card, but in reality, he knows exactly what every word means. Then, with a wink toward her upcoming track. "The fate of Alia," Taylor added, "he may not have read Hamlet, but I explained it to him," to which Travis fired back with perfect comedic timing, "It's all right, I watched The Lion King." Taylor doubled down, laughing that this was yet more proof of just how deep their connection runs. See, he clearly knows exactly what Hamlet is, and that revelation totally blindsided Jason, who never realized The Lion King was a feline retelling of Shakespeare's masterpiece. And remember, he's supposed to be the smart one. Like we've said all along, this whole goofy dumb act is nothing but a clever disguise, and honestly, we bet he's far more well-read than anyone gives him credit for. The truth is, every critic mocking his intelligence should A, apologize immediately, and B, stop dragging people for that forever, because it's a downright awful thing to do. What makes this even better is how Taylor called him out on his playful little ruse, exposing the hilarious reality of who he is. Now, drop your thoughts in the comments and tell us your favorite hilariously real couple moment between Taylor and Travis, because fans cannot get enough of this unfiltered, brilliant love story.